Hi Flosstube, my name is Jennifer. I'm the Calculated Stitcher here on Flosstube and on Instagram. Today is January the 11th, 2020, and this is my Flosstube number 4. I'm so thankful that all of y'all have come to my channel, and if you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, I really appreciate y'all coming back, and I really appreciate all of the kind comments and advice. People have given me some great advice on my Ada questions and concerns, and I'll talk about that a little more later. And today just happened to be, I wasn't thinking today was going to be the day I could film, but my son, who is 16, he's number 5, he's our baby, and he had an academic UIL meet, and my husband got roped into driving the bus for the meet, so they're both gone for the day. And then my daughter, who is home for a while, she left to go shopping with friends, which means it's just me in the house, so I took advantage and I made a video. So I don't really have anything planned out so well, so we'll see how that goes, but honestly, that's about how most of my videos are, because I never know till the last minute that I'm filming. So anyway, just glad to be doing this, because when I haven't done it in a while, I feel like I'm missing something. I honestly feel, and I said this on someone's post that or a comment that they made on my video. I think I felt like something was missing in my life. I have a wonderful husband. I have 5 great kids. I have well, I have multiple jobs, but my main job is teaching high school math, and it's just, it means so much to me to be able to touch these kids in a way to influence their lives that I hope I am in a positive way. And so I have a wonderful life, but it's just like it was like something was missing, and y'all have all filled what was missing in my heart. I feel like I actually have stitching friends, which I live in a small town, and I don't know anybody else that cross stitches here, and so I'm not going to cry. I'm starting to cry. Okay, anyway, I just want to thank y'all. I can't say thank you enough for what y'all brought into my life, and I appreciate it. So let's get to it. So today I want to talk first about my whips on which I've been working. And I did, and I showed this before, I purchased the 24 hours of cross stitch planner. And you don't actually purchase the planner, you purchase the PDF, and it's on Jen from Quirks and Stitches. She has an Etsy shop, and I'm still trying to figure out how to put things in my description box. So if you are a Flosstuber, and I film on my Galaxy, I have a Galaxy Note 9, I think, and I do everything on there. If you know how to add things to the description box, if you could just give me like a little short, this is what you need to do, I would just so appreciate it, because I still can't figure it out. But eventually, maybe, I'm just not a very technological savvy person, I guess. I'm lucky that at our school we have an IT person, and so other than turning it off and turning it back on, that's about the extent of my technology intelligence, maybe, or lack thereof. Oh, sorry, my daughter's puppy was up on a red. He's not a puppy, he's a dog. But anyway, if I can figure out how to put it into the description box, I will try to put the name of her Etsy shop. Now, I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to ever be able to put a link in there. I don't understand how y'all do that either, where you're like, oh, I'll link this and I'll link that, and I appreciate the links. I don't know how you do that. That's just crazy, crazy intelligence. But so this is the 24-hour of cross stitch planner. I got off there and had to think about what I was talking about. And I've never used a planner before for this. When you're a teacher, you plan, you do lesson plans. And so, and I love plans, and I love the organization. It's really my favorite part of this whole hobby, is the organizing and the planning of everything. So I don't know why it never dawned on me that you would have a separate planner for your hobby. So I've made this into, I also have been recording my hours that I have been sewing. And so I think it's going to be interesting to see over the year then just how many hours I get into my hobbies and each month how that fluctuates. So anyway, 5 minutes later, 24 hours of cross stitch 2020 planner. So you download the PDF, and then you print it out. And I printed mine out in color. And I went to Office Max Depot, something like that. And I did not know this until Jen mentioned it on her Flosstube, Crooks and Stitches, that you can put this clear page, and then you can get this. This is what I did. Hers is a little different than mine. But then it's like a heavier back. It's just plain black. And they spiral bound it, like punch the holes and everything. And it was only like $6 and something, I think, for the front and the back cover and the spiral. I'm sorry my glasses have this glare. I don't know how to get away from it. I'm trying. I just don't look at myself very often. I don't like to look at myself. So anyway, so I got this done, and I think that's just great for just a little over $6 to get all that done. I'm like, I'm going to do this to everything I own. So anyway, this is the year goal alphabet challenge. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. And it's like, they want you to finish a project and do 12 to 24 letters. Can you get 12 to 24 finishes that deal with the letters of each letter of the alphabet? So I've already filled in a whole bunch, and I may change it later. I don't know. Probably not, because I'm real big on everything looking very neat. So I just printed that in, and as I finish them, I'll check them off. So my goal is to hopefully finish 12 of these during the year. I don't finish a whole lot because I am very slow, I feel, in my stitching. But I do love that I have a goal. So that's one of the main pages that I enjoy. Then you get like an overview of the month. And on this one, I'm poking myself. My goals here, like I said, I want to finish the February calendar, girls. And then it has a place for you to list your new starts for the month. Any dates that you want to enter, there's that too. But I have a little calendar that I carry for school that has all my important dates. And so that kind of thing I keep in a separate place. This I really like. And you can tell I didn't do the last 2 days because we had a basketball game this day, a basketball game this day, and then this is today. So I've been putting in how many hours I stitch every day and how many hours I sew every day. So that's just for me, and that is just like a goal to reach 24 hours in the month. Then, this is my favorite page, is the acrostic. Now, she still has these on her Facebook page. Is it called a page? I don't do Facebook. But she also has a website that you can get them also. And you can print them out. So you don't have to pay for this. These, it's just that if you buy this, you get the whole year's up front. So I guess if you're planning that far in advance, but I never know what's going to be going on in my life. So I plan just a month at a time. So, and sometimes even a day at a time. So these are, the acrostic this month is Ready, Set, Cross Stitch pretty much, because it's X, S, and then an exclamation point. And then you're supposed to set your goal, either 24 minutes, 240 minutes, 480 minutes, or if you want to do, if you count your stitches. But oh my gosh, that would take up so much of my time to count them. I don't have a way to do that that wouldn't waste a whole lot of stitching time. So you can either do time tracking or stitch tracking, and you set a goal for each of these. And so it's been really fun. So far I have met 5 of them, and so I have 6 more to go, and I'm very excited, and it's only the 11th. So that, I love this page. And then this one, again, because I've had basketball the last 2 nights, I wrote it on a piece of scratch paper in my project bag, that went with me to the game. So I have all the information. I just have to transfer it on here. I'm real picky about how neat it looks. So, but here, these are the holidays, and I thought about the first month maybe not trying to do this because I thought it was a lofty goal. But then I thought, you know what, Jennifer, just get in there and try it. So I have. And so every day she has put down a holiday that correlates to that day. And then you're supposed to connect your stitching. He's whining. Supposed to connect your stitching project to whatever the holiday is. So, for example, January 1st was Commitment Day. And so I worked on Anniversaries of the Heart, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And I said that the reason I chose that project is that since it's Commitment Day, is that I am committed to complete this project this year. And I don't know if that's really how you're supposed to like connect them, but that's how I'm connecting them. And so if I'm doing it wrong, somebody let me know. I'm just trying to tie it together somehow. And you're supposed to do 24 minutes or 120 stitches for this part of it. So that has been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying that part too. And then there's some other pages. I'm just kind of just showing you the ones that I use the most. At the end, there's also a recap then of January where you can list your finishes and stuff like that and things that you want to tweak for the next month. It's really, really a great tool, this book is. So here, now, there was one of these pages when I bought it, but what I did was I printed 52 of them because there's one for every week. So, or maybe I had to do 53 to make it work. It doesn't matter. But anyway, and so I started on the 1st, and I write every day. This is what I use it for. I write the name of my project. So like on the 1st, I worked on Anniversaries of the Heart, and then I write how many minutes. Well, I wrote 5.5 hours, so it was great. I didn't have to go to work, and I sat and I stitched, and it was just wonderful. And then I also worked on Calendar Girls, the February one, which I'll show in a little bit, and I worked on it for an hour and a half. So I write down the projects I work on or the sewing that I'm doing, and then how many hours I did. And then, so that was last week, and then again, this is this week, but of course, Thursday and Friday. They're written down, but they're just not in here yet. So I love this planner. It's just, for me, it is just wonderful. It has helped me. I feel like I'm getting more done, and I have no idea why that is, but I don't know if it's because I have a goal. I always worry. This is why I had never done it before, because I am somewhat on the obsessive side. And so when I set a goal or make a plan and I can't stick to it, I get very upset with myself. And my husband is this total opposite, which is, I guess, the way it's supposed to be. He's the most laid back, just let it roll off your back, doesn't take anything, too seriously. I mean, someone is mean to him and he's like, oh, it's fine, it's okay. Someone I think looks at me funny and I get my feelings hurt and I start thinking, what did I do? Did I do something to upset them? Why? I don't know why I'm this way. I'm just this way. So, so I was really worried that if I started setting these goals and I didn't reach them, I was going to get upset with myself. But I feel like I actually am doing better and getting more done, and I have no idea why. Now that may be because when I first began it, I was not back at school, and so I had a whole lot of time to be working on stuff, and so I feel like I'm getting things done. I don't know, but we're going to see. But as of right now, I absolutely love it, and I, recommend it to anybody who wants to work on planning their stitching or any of their hobbies. I think it would be perfect for any hobby. So anyway, so now whips, which is where I was trying to go with this the whole time, and we're already at, 14 minutes in. So, like I said, on January 1st, I worked on Anniversaries of the Heart. Now, I am participating, sorry, I have these braces, and they changed the wire and made it thicker because I have very sensitive skin, so I have to be careful what kind of jewelry I wear, and I guess the wire they had in there was some kind of nickel titanium something, and I guess I was allergic to it, and so like my lips were all cracked, and just it was painful. My tongue hurt. I mean, it was painful. And so they put this other wire in. Well, it's thicker. So I had just gotten kind of used to talking with the other braces, and so now I have these, and it's just, so I am very sorry about if I'm slurring or you can't understand me. Plus, I talk really fast. And I don't know if that's a Texas thing, because I've heard a lot of people from Texas, and they, people are always like, "How you talk so fast?" So I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know. Ooh, Flosstube nose. Ha! Had an itchy nose. So, Anniversaries of the Heart. All of that. Jennifer, I just get off on a tangent. I'm sorry about that. So, Anniversaries of the Heart is a series by Blackbird Designs. These are the charts. And I had actually bought these, I don't know, probably 7-8 months ago. When I get a series like this is what I do, and maybe this is the lazy way to do it. I send a message to, can you hear him? He's, why is he whining? I send a message to Jen on Jen's Stitching Niche, and I say, I would please like to buy all of the, and these are the, what series? Anniversaries. Oh my gosh, I just said that. These, I want to buy, I told her I wanted to buy all of the charts in the Anniversaries of the Heart series. Is there any way that she could order them all for me? And she gets them all, and then she sends a message to me saying, I've got them all, and I put a link, this is your total, and then I bought them. So, because I knew I wanted them all, or I didn't want them at all, because I wanted to put them all in one piece. So anyway, so I bought them months and months and months ago. So there's Snow Garden, which is the first one. Oh, that's my dryer if you can hear it beeping. Valentine Rose, that's the second one. A Wish for You. Pink Hill Manor. I hope I'm close enough you can see these. Farmhouse. Happy Birthday. Swan Lake. Clara Ellen. This one is Moonlight Visitor. You can tell I've looked at the others more than the later ones, the earlier ones. Pumpkin Farm. Oop. Olivia's going to love that one, isn't she? This one is Evergreen Lane. And then this one is Elizabeth Jane. So, I'm going to put them all together on one piece of fabric. And like I said, I bought them months ago, but I hadn't started them. But when Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow Farms, I think that's what her Flosstube is. But then she's Pumpkin Hollow Farm Quilts on Instagram and Pumpkin Hollow Farm Quilting on Facebook. I think that's right. I'll check. And if I'm wrong, I'll put it down here because I did figure out how to do that. Woohoo! So she started as Sal. She and Canopied Stitches. I think her name is Deborah. Anyway, I knew this, and then as soon as I push record, I forget what I knew. So they started a Sal on January 1st. And I thought, well, you know what? I have all of it, all the charts. And that's when I was going to the Silver Needle. And I thought, while I'm there, I'll pick out the linen and I'll look at the floss. Okay, well, let me tell you something. As I was sitting in the hotel room when we got to Oklahoma to go to the Silver Needle, my mom and I went together, and it was wonderful. I sat down and I wrote out all, you can tell we stayed at the Best Western. I wrote down all of the fancy floss that was needed for all the charts. Well, my kids would like to eat and have their tuition paid. So I only bought the floss for the first 4 blocks, I'm pretty sure, the first 4 blocks. And I thought I will just slowly start accumulating the rest. I've got a while to do that. That's fine. So that's what I did. And these are the ones that these are the ones that I'm not using right now. These are going to be for blocks 2, 3, and 4. Those are the colors. And then these are the colors that I'm using in block 1. You can tell they're all tangled. So they are very, I know Olivia said she thought they look like fall. To me, I guess it's when they're on the canvas, it looks very wintry to me. So I'm going to put this on here. And I bought 40 count straw, and that's the linen on which I am stitching. Let me get up so I can get close. This is where I am right now. This key, I have had to frog. Ooh, that's awfully close. I have had to frog 4 times. Well, this will be the 4th time. I have to frog out that key because it's the wrong color. I don't know what I was thinking. But when you're looking at this border right here, you can kind of tell right now on my screen. I don't know what you'll be able to see later, but you can tell it's kind of 2 colors, but they're super, super close. But I really like the look of it, actually. You can see the holes where I still have to fill those in with the whitish color. But this is where I am on block 1. And I really, really enjoy stitching on this. It is a very fun project. And I'm so glad I joined. I'm one of those who I would rather stitch on it after everybody else has finished stitching, because I feel like it's a competition, and competition makes my heart hurt. So, which is not good when you have 5 kids who are super into sports. I have 3 of my children in, I don't know how it is in other states, but in public school, you play all year, and then you have district, and then whoever wins at district then goes on to regionals, and then after regionals is state. And that's when the best 2 out of every, and this is in tennis, the best 2 out of every region. So there's 4 regions. So 8 kids come together, the best 8 in the state, and then they compete. And 3 of my kids actually won state tennis, and which is great, but it is a lot of stress having to watch and worry about your kids. Yeah, I don't know. It's just very stressful. So I wish my kids were not into sports, because it would make my life so much easier, but that's okay. I'm happy for them, and it makes them happy, but then they get very angry if they lose. And so, yeah, I'm not into all that competition. So needless to say, oh my gosh, I just keep going off on tangents. What I was saying is that I like to stitch things usually after everybody else has finished stitching them, because then I feel like I'm very relaxed and I can stitch at my own pace. But I have not felt that. I was in the button-up sal that Misty Purcell started, and with the Prairie Schooler button-up. And I started it, I want to say last December or January, and I actually finished it. I'm going to make them into ornaments. I haven't fully finished it yet. But, and I never felt rushed there. I am also in her sal, and I haven't even touched that in a while. It's sitting right there. For the American flag quilt. Never felt rushed at all. So I don't know why I thought I was going to feel so rushed. And I guess it's because if it was something like some of the other pieces that I have that people that like, you know, you see 20 of them every day, I would feel very, but some of these, I guess I don't see as many people stitching it. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. I've only gotten to 1 whip, and we're at 24 minutes. So here I go. I got to finish before someone comes home. So then the next thing I worked on the first was, oh, this side, Jennifer. The Little House Needleworks. Press the screen. Little House Needleworks Calendar Girl series. And I started with February. And when I decided to do this, I decided I'm not expecting to have it finished and fully finished by this February. I want these finished by next, so 2021. I'm hoping to have these done. So it would be great if I could have them done this year. That'd be great. But my goal is next year. I'm not trying to rush this thing. And I'm stitching mine on 36 count Legacy Edinburgh. Edinburgh, it's, I don't know, Edenb. Edinburgh. I'm not sure which one that is. And this is how far I've gotten on it. Let me see if I push that. If it will focus a little better. I don't focus too much on my white stitches because I'm still working on them, and hopefully they will get better. So I really like this. It's super cute. And it's been a lot of fun to stitch on also. I was actually stitching on this at the basketball game the last 2 nights. So it's gotten a lot of love in the last week. So then on the 2nd, I went to my mom's house and sewed almost 8 hours with her. And I love to spend time with my mom. She's not a big cross stitcher. She did go to the workshop at the Silver Needle because my daughter, who is a cross stitcher, was going to go with me, but then she ended up having to work. And so then my mom filled in, and we love to travel together and go places. So she went with me, and she might do a little something every now and then, but she's not, it's never going to be a big thing for her. She is a prolific quilter and beautiful applique like you would not believe. I mean, hand applique, it's just beautiful. So I do love to sew with her, and I showed before one of the quilts that we're working on, and I may have like misled people to believe we're not making one together. She's making one and then I'm making one, so we're going to have 2 of them, and it's called a Dear Jane. And so I usually what I do is after church on Sundays, come home, we get our son to work, and then my husband likes to go out. We have about 200 acres, and he likes to go chainsaw things or, you know, shred grass or do whatever, because where we live, you have grass to mow and stuff all year round almost. But he likes to go out and do the outdoorsy things, and so then I go to Mom's for most of the day on Sunday. Well, he also goes to write his lesson plans, but for the next week. And I like to go to Mom's for a few hours after church, and we sew on our Dear Jane. And one day we'll finish it, but it's got like 20 bazillion pieces, so I'm not in a big rush. But these are some of the ones we worked on, and these are just prepped up. You can tell I just have them attached, and I have to sew them down. You can tell I've only sewed this part right here, so you can tell that's sewed. These are not attached. I mean, they're just, you tack them down and then you sew them, and so then those little flags will get cut off and pinned under, and so it'll look like this one right here, that one when it's finished. So that's one of the blocks I worked on, and it's all, this one's all applique. It's appliqued onto here. This one is partially pieced, so you can see where I pieced it, and then this will get appliqued. Oh, it already is. Yep, I've already stitched it. You can see right there the stitches. So that one got appliqued, so that one is ready to go. This one is pieced. You can see all the pieces in the back. So I pieced this, and I just need to applique this little orange peel. That's what that shape is called in quilting. And this is the edges, the border is that. They're triangles, and this one will be a triangle. I just have to cut it out. But I made the shapes, and I just need to applique them down. So they're just tacked on there with a little bit of craft glue. And then I stitch them by hand, and then you wash it, and then the glue comes out. So anyway, but we worked for, how many hours did I say? 7.5. 7.5. Mom and I sewed on the 2nd. It was great. And then I worked on the Calendar Girls, and a little bit that day. All right, so then the next day on the 3rd, I did Calendar Girls, but then I worked on Sally Spencer. So the 3rd is the first day that I worked on Sally Spencer this year in 2020. I love this, and I started this, oh, I'd have to go back and look, but I mean, 8 months ago or something. I started it a long time ago. maybe not that long ago. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I started it last year sometime. Well, then I found out because someone told me when I showed my Anniversaries of the Heart, they said, oh, you should watch Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, I bet that's what it is. And so I went over and watched her because they told me, the commenter told me that she was going to have a stitch along on Anniversaries of the Heart. And since I had all the stuff, you know, and so I went and watched her. Well, I fell in love with Olivia. How wonderful is she? And she loves to quilt, so I love to see all her quilts. She has a long arm. I would love a long arm. Oh my goodness. You know, I try to tell my last one, do you really want to go to college? Because mom could use a long arm. He thinks that's funny. So anyway, so Olivia, but when I started watching her, apparently she had a stitch along that they started, I don't know, sometime last year maybe. And she has already finished hers, but she said you're free to join it. It's an ongoing sale forever. So if you have started this, then she has a sale for it. And of course, I didn't write it down. I need to do that in my book. I've decided I want to say that it is BOF Summer Sally, because I think maybe it started in the summer. Sal? I don't know. Again, I'm going to try to put it right down here. I'll look it up. Anyway, so Sally Spencer, I've been holding that long enough. These are the threads, and this is all I have left. So I'm thinking I may have to get some more. That's all I have left. Oh, the buttermilk? Nope, Shaker White. Shaker White. Oh, look, it has a little piece of red on it. That's kind of funny. I'm not sure why. But there is my Shaker White. That's all I have left. So this is my progress. So let me put it on my design board. And this is my progress so far. Let me stand up so make sure you can see it clearly. See if it'll focus. So this is my progress so far. And I'm down. And this is the bottom right here where it ends. So all I have left is this down here once I finish the, I think it's the bottom. Let me look. If it's not the exact bottom, it's just a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure that's about the bottom of it right there. So this one has been so much fun, and I don't know if it was supposed to, but I did mine with, I made mine into eyelets, and I don't think it's really charted for eyelet stitches. Oh, I'm getting blurry because I focused it on the, there we go. I like mine with the eyelet stitches. I love an eyelet alphabet. Makes me very happy. So I redid mine so it would have eyelets. So I'm hoping to have this finished this year. That's my goal. One of my goals is to finish that this year. So I worked on that. Then on the 4th, I worked on Sally Spencer again, and then I worked on my token of love. This I'm doing because this July, I almost said January, this July will be my husband's, his and my wedding anniversary, July the 13th. And it'll be 30 years. 30 years. Isn't that crazy? I have been married over half my life. That's kind of funny. Anyway, so I want to make this. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I love this, like with your initials and the date. And you know, one of my subscribers said something about, look, my glasses. The top doesn't have anything, but the bottom are like my readers. It's a prescription. So my, what do you call him? My ophthalmologist said he could make readers so that they're, you know, just in the bottom. So they're bifocals. So I'm going up like this so I can see it better. Sorry about that. So, and it says my token of love right here. I just love this. And one of my subscribers said that she did it for her son's wedding sampler. And I think that is a brilliant idea. And so I'm thinking, I think I may do that for my next child who gets married. If my children ever see this, I hope you're married by now and are giving me some grandchildren. Although I do have one coming up. I have my first grandbabies due March the 4th. I'm so excited. But it's one of those things, it's my son. And so I don't know if she would be okay with a cross stitch burst sampler. It's one of those things where I don't want to overstep and be that kind of mother-in-law. I don't want to be one of those. So I don't know how to ask without her feeling like she has to say, oh, sure, yeah, I would love to have one, and then like throw it in the drawer or something. So anyway, I'm doing it with Gloriana. Black cherry. Yes, black cherry. Oop. I tried to get it to focus and then it... Let me try to hold it with this hand and push the focus button with that hand. What I see in my display is not always what is seen on when I'm watching it back to edit it and stuff. So I hope it's focusing. Anyway, Black Cherry. It is by Gloriana, and it is variegated, and it is absolutely beautiful. This is probably my favorite red ever. I don't know why, but I just love this. And then this is my progress. So let me do this and zoom in. I know it's not a lot of progress, but for me, that's a lot of progress. I spent 4 hours stitching this, and I think I had just finished this and this little tiny thing here. So this is what I did in 4 hours. Now I had to rip out, I think 3 times because I miscounted. I don't know what my problem was. You know, I'm a math teacher. Can't you count? Well, apparently not very well. Let me do that. Okay. Apparently counting was not my thing that day. So, because I worked on it 4 hours that day, and then, nope, that's it. That's the last time I worked on it. So I worked on it 4 hours, and that's all I got completed. So I would like to know, is that about average? Or is that a pretty sad 4 hours? This right here. This part right here. Is that a sad amount, or is that a decent amount? I don't know. And maybe it doesn't matter. It's, you know, progress is progress, and be happy with it. So I do love that one. I guess I love all of them because that's why I'm stitching them. I mean, does anybody ever hold one up and go, I really don't like this? Well, if you don't like it, then don't stitch on it. So that's my token of love. So then on the 5th was the day before I went back to school. And so I did go, I worked on 'Tis the Season. Oh, this is the first time I worked on it so far in 2020 was on the 5th. Let me push the focus button. And this is in the book Home for the Holidays by Blackbird Designs. I love this whole book. It's kind of like their patriotic one I have. I want to do everything in it. Yep, this one. So I am stitching this piece from it, and it's called 'Tis the Season. This is how far I have gotten so far, and this one I am stitching, let me focus, on 46 count Jolly Green linen. And I got this from Misty Purcell at Luminous Fiber Arts, and I'm telling you, I have the hardest time putting this down. There is something about this linen and that red that it makes me happy. And my husband doesn't understand this, that working on something like this and just happy. And so I don't know how to explain it to him other than, you know, if you had, you know, a state-bound basketball team, would that, you know, bring you joy like this does me? I don't know. I don't know how to get that across to him. But I really just have enjoyed every minute of this. Every minute. There's not a part of it that I have not found totally enjoyable. So, oh, I didn't show, wait. Just a second. These are my flosses that I'm using. And these are the called for Belle Soie, which is my favorite floss, I guess you could say, only because I like to touch it, and it's just, it feels so nice. I can't tell the difference as far as stitching between flosses. I guess I don't know very much about them yet, But as far as sitting and petting them, oh, and the colors are so beautiful. So anyway, so these are my colors. They're Belle Soie. The only difference is that I took Misty's lead and I changed Poison Apple, I think it is, for Tulip. Let me make sure. Yes, Tulip. So those are my flosses for 'Tis the Season. Then I worked on Anniversaries of the Heart, which I showed you. Then on the 6th, which was Monday, I'm looking at my book because I have my notes. I worked on Love is in the Air, which is this. Whoop. I would like to do, this is the Blackbird Designs. Every month they have the 3 little tiny stockings. And I really one day would like to have all of these made. I have it's an old kitchen cabinet that sits on top of a little set of drawers in my kitchen. It's like out of someone's house, I'm sure. Anyway, and I would like to hang them from it. It's where I keep my grandmother's china and all that kind of stuff. And so anyway, I started with this one because I thought it looked like a sampler, and I do love samplers, everything about them. So I started with that one, and I used, it called for cherry bark, Gentle Arts cherry bark. But I had this. I just happened to have picked it up at Hobby Lobby, and I thought it looks very much to me like the Gloriana silk that I showed, the black cherry. But it's not as soft, of course. But it stitches, I think it stitches the same, but that's just me. And the coloring, I think, looks very similar. Anyway, I just stitched it on a piece of, I'm sure it looks like it is probably a 32 count, and I'm sure it's I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and Tea and Coffee dyed it. Come on, focus. And I actually finished it. Isn't that crazy? That's so unlike me. So unlike me to finish something this quickly. Granted, this doesn't take very long. I mean, you know, it's just letters, but isn't it cute? Oh, I just love it. So that is my first finish of the year. Can you believe that? That's just craziness. Absolute craziness. I finished it on the 8th, on Wednesday, this last Wednesday. So all I've worked on since then has been the Calendar Girls, which I already showed you. And those are my current whips. Oh, these are the other flosses I have for the Love is in the Air for the other 2 stockings. And my goal is, again, like the Calendar Girls, I would like to have all these stockings done in 2021. So I'm not going to be in a big rush, but these are to do the other 2 stockings, the one with the bird and the one with the violets. And I'm not sure if I will work on that anymore this month. We'll just see what the holidays are and how I connect them, kind of a thing. And I think next time that's what I'll do. I'll just talk about which projects I worked connected to the holidays. That's probably a good idea. So those are my whips. So now I'm going to go over haul. So my haul, first thing I got was my Floss of the Month Club from Fat Quarter Shop. It's called Floss Fix, and it comes really cute. It's all twirled around like this, and it comes in a little bag like this with the list of what they are. They do such a good job with packaging. So these are the blues, and I know there's a wait list, but you just get on the wait list, and they said it's a pretty fast turnover. So, and these are all classic colorworks, and I have a whole bunch, almost all of the Gentle Arts, but I do not have very many weeks and classic colorworks. So I would like to eventually have one of each of them and just kind of keep it that way. So as I pull one out, I order another one. I got Old Blue Jeans. This one is Morning Glory. Blue. I love blues. Blues and reds. This one is Deep Blue Sea. That one has some pretty variegation in it. Really pretty. This one is Blue Beadboard. I do love beadboard, which has nothing to do with anything, but other than I love old beadboard, not the newer. Blueberry Tart. This one has some pretty variegation too. I hope you can see that when you are watching the video. And this one is Cloud, and then it looks exactly like it sounds. It's a really pale blue. So those are my Floss Fix colors from Fat Quarter Shop. I love that one. Then my other subscription club, I guess, I get is from Traditional Stitches, and I don't know why I didn't take this out. I don't mind crinkling, but if you do, I am sorry for the crinkling. I am in their linen club, and I get 40 count, and this is 40 count Bittersweet Lakeside Linens. Let me look at here and see what it's called. It is called, it's just specific, Lakeside Linen. I love Lakeside Linen. And it's specifically all Lakeside Linen. It's their collector program. So this is the color. It's kind of got a pinkish shade to it, if you'd call it pink. It's really pretty. This would be really pretty for, oh, you know what? That would have been pretty. It's fine. I'm second guessing my linen choice for another project now. It would be really pretty for anything for Valentine's Day also. I mean, it would be pretty for anything, but especially for Valentine's Day. Because it's a purplish pink, but it's a neutral. I think it's showing up a lot pinker on my screen now when it actually uploads. Is it uploads to YouTube? That's upload, not download. I think my IT person tried to explain it to me. I think that it looks a little differently than what I'm seeing when I'm filming. So hopefully it'll come across better. So I thought I heard someone driving up. I don't know. If I pause the video, it's because someone is here. Okay, I also belong to their 100-3, their SWA, what do they call it? A Veriswa. And they come on, it's their silk, and they come on these little spools. They look like the sulky spools. Oh, they're so pretty if you could see them. They have this sheen, like they shine. Oh, they're just beautiful. They're so beautiful. I want to start doing projects in like 56 and 60 count. And so I know that I'm going to need these. So that's why I started collecting them. And I'm putting them right over here. My stitching chair is right there. And there's another one for my husband to sit in too. They're right next to our bed. And there's one of those little, what do you call them? Hold on. They're one of those like spool holders. And that's where I've been putting them. And I think I have like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This must be my 15th. They come in sets of 5. And I think this is my 3rd one. So that's another club that I belong to, or a collector. I don't know what it is. The next thing I got was from Misty Purcell, and I got, this is Lady Dot Creates Sizzle. Oh, yeah, my dog is barking outside. And it's hand dyed ribbon, the rayon ribbon. It's kind of hard to see. Isn't that beautiful? We have a very, very, very large mastiff outside. And we have a lot of coyotes that come in. And since we have cows, when they calf, you have to be very careful because the coyotes will come in and kill the calves. And so he's very good at alerting us when anybody or any animal is on our property. And so many a night we have to go out and check on all the baby calves and with spotlights and stuff and make sure everything's okay. This is the first Lady Dot Creates velveteen I've ever owned. And I can feel another obsession. I'm an obsessive person. I'm going to need to own all of the different colors. I can't wait to finish something using this. It is just absolutely wonderful. Okay, I'm going to have to pause this because I think someone's here. I'll be right. Okay, sorry. My brother is in town. He lives up near Dallas, and he and some friends are in town, and they are down at one of our barns getting some firewood, I guess, for my mom's house. So I don't think he's going to come up here, so it's okay. Anyway, so Lady Dot Creates. I love this velveteen, and I can't wait to get some more. I do love that. I also ordered from her Madame Chantilly. What is this one called? Oh, Advent Sunday. I've been wanting that one. Isn't that pretty? Anything Madame Chantilly is just so beautiful. And then there's a one at the back, kind of a close-up. Let me see if I can focus it a little bit better. So pretty. So then I also got a 56 count blue green. I don't know what that says. It's linen, 56 count linen. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I do love Misty's linen. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favorite to stitch on. So, and I wanted 56 count, and so I had to focus it there. I thought I would start off with hers because I love her linen. And then the last thing I got was her Holly Jolly. I hadn't gotten this one yet, and I'm not sure why I hadn't gotten it yet. So I'm going to have Misty March is what I'm going to call it. And that's going to be the month that I'm going to work on all of her projects and try to get them completed. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink really quickly. Okay, so that's what I got from Misty Purcell. But then today, I got another package from Misty. I ordered something else. I'm trying to reach over here and get it. I got this chart, the Blue Flower Winter Valentine. And it has these cardinals. I love cardinals. We have lots of cardinals here. We have them all year round. I'm not sure. They're one of the few pretty birds. I call them pretty birds, the colorful birds that we have year round. So, and then I got Picture This Plus, and it's a 32 count Lugana, and it says the color is Heartland, and it's a Zweigart based. And I got this because I thought those stockings would look pretty on it, and I wanted 32 count. Isn't that a beautiful color? I love that. We'll see how it goes. But so I also ordered that. Then from Kitten Stitcher, I got a package in the mail, and I ordered this button because I collect antique sewing machines, and this looks like a treadle machine and like a little quilt. It's really cute. So I bought that, and it's the Bee Company. And then I got this book called just a second, words are very difficult. Architecture from Early Samplers. And this book, all I've done so far is just flip through it, but it's super interesting, and it has like all these different buildings and stuff and charts to make them, and it tells a little bit about them. I can't wait to read this. I'm very excited. I love books like this. So I got that. And I did not open these out of the things because they're it's the kind that once you open them, it's hard to get them back in. It's Frances Graspy, 1845, Hands Across the Sea sampler. And I want to say that all of this stuff was bought before my resolution this year of not buying a whole bunch of new charts. But I did say that my 3 exceptions that I could buy were Hands Across the Sea, Misty Purcell's, and Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Vanette's. So this one falls under Hands Across the Sea samplers. And I'm sure everybody has seen this one before, but he's chewing on my pillow back there. This one is really pretty. So I do want to stitch this one. Of course, I have like, I don't know how many. Maybe I'll count next time and show you those. But this is Hands Across the Sea, Frances Graspy. And I got that from Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Vanette. Now, when in the last year, I had two what I would call unicorn charts. One of them was the Uffendale sisters. And of course, now they've been released, and so they are not a unicorn anymore because I could not have spent, you know, $500-600 on it. I did order, and here is Anne Tong Uffendale. And then here's her sister, Isabel Uffendale. Aren't they beautiful? Now, here's my quandary, because I know I don't like to stitch when everybody else is stitching, and since everybody is now getting these, is it just going to be flooded with Uffendale samplers everywhere, which means I'm going to have to wait and stitch mine later, because I'm telling you, I don't like to stitch what everybody else is stitching. I get very anxious about it. Don't know why. And then she sent me a couple of the cards, and they're the Uffendale cards. And then they have like the charts on the back from a motif from them. I am just so thrilled. I am so thrilled and thankful, so thankful that Nicola decided to release those. That was so wonderful of her. And so I think it's great. I don't mind having them as two charts. I think it's fabulous. It does not matter. Now, would I like to have the original one? I still would. I would love to collect that one, but not paying hundreds of dollars for it. So if I come across it one day, then maybe then I would. Then I also got a full yard of light hazelnut, and it is 40 count Zweigart Newcastle linen, and it is to actually stitch my samplers on. I got that from Teresa, so my Uffendale sisters. So I have that. I'm going to have to pause. My daughter is calling me. Sorry about this. 1 second. Okay. It is actually the next day, Sunday, January the 12th. My daughter called, then my brother showed up wanting some pliers. He was draining diesel out of one of our tractors, and he stayed forever. Then my husband got home, and so I could not finish my video last night. And now it's Sunday, so we went to church. And then I went and got my nails done. Yay, they're back. And so now it's nighttime. You can tell it's dark. I turned this way because I have a bright fluorescent light above my stitching spot. So I've just turned around. You can actually see into my sewing room, which you can also see there's still boxes and stuff. I'm still unpacking and trying to find a home for everything. So just don't look over there. Eventually, I want to have stitching to put in the panes of these windows that I have hanging up on part of the opening. Anyway, I left off, I was talking about my haul from Teresa Vanette Kitten Stitcher. And I had just talked about how I'd gotten the Uffendale sisters. I had to go back and watch because I wasn't sure where I left off. I had gotten the Uffendales, which was one of my unicorns. Well, my other unicorn, I actually had a friend who was at a garage sale, and whenever she goes, people will send me pictures of, hey, I found this. Are you interested? And she found this at a garage sale, and this was my other unicorn chart. Isn't that great? I am so excited. So she found this, which is Lady of the Flag. And of course, I wasn't stitching when this came out, and I know they re-released it at some point, but every shop only got like 2 or 3 copies, I heard. And anyway, I never could get a copy. So I am beyond thrilled that I got this. So then I went online and I ordered all of the stuff for it. I'm forgetting cameras on this side today. I have the beads and the chronic and all of the DNCs. And I ordered the We the People fabric from the Primitive Hair. And so that's the linen that I'm going to stitch it on. So very excited. I think this is going to be my July 4th start. Haven't totally made up my mind, but I'm just beyond thrilled that I got it. And now I don't have any unicorn charts that I know of. Of course, I don't know all the charts yet, so there might be some out there still. So I'm very excited about that. Then I also got haul from Hands Across the Sea from Nicola Parkman. And the first one is I got the Bethia chart, which is the reversible sampler she just released. I also have the workshop that you can purchase, which is great because she goes through, I've already started watching them, and gives detailed directions and video of her doing the stitches, and it's so interesting. And one day I will attempt it. I'm going to attempt it on the doodle cloth like she said, but I won't actually start a reversible one for a few years at least. Then I also got Elizabeth Weston, which is one that I had wanted forever. And this one is a little strange for me because I'm not a pink person, and this one is very pink, but I do love this one. I think it's beautiful. So I'd like to do that one. And Roberts is another one that I got from her. And this is a smaller one. And I'm thinking maybe I should start with one of these. Maybe I'd be more likely to finish because the samplers that I've all started have been very large. And then Frances Graspy. Isn't that one sweet? That's another one that's kind of small. Now you'll also notice I just showed this, that I got it from Shakespeare's Peddler. So I ordered two, which is so like me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it be the giveaway for this video. Speaking of giveaways, my 12th day of Christmas, I offered the Brenda Gervais wordplay for September because I had 2 copies. And Linda Donzello is the winner. Congratulations, Linda. If you will just email me at the email address right here, unless I can figure out the description box, I'm going to put it right here. If you'll just email me your mailing address and I will send it off to you. So today's giveaway, like I just said, is going to be Frances Graspy by Hands Across the Sea sampler. And if you're interested, you can just say Frances. And that is the end of my haul and my giveaway. The last segment is, I had mentioned at my last video that my husband's in the kitchen. I told him I was videoing, so now he knows. And I'm just very self-conscious. I've got the door closed, but I still am like, is he at the door listening to me? It's fine. Anyway, I teach school, high school math teacher. And then we have a tiny little grocery store here that I fill in when someone needs me. But then I had another job that I worked about 30 hours a week for a doctor. And they're thinking of closing down that clinic. So I need another way to supplement my income. And I've always wanted to open an online store. I'd have to do it online because I live in the middle of nowhere. But my dream has always been to open one that had like block of the months or like patterns of the month. So in quilting, you can, let's say there's a quilt that you want to make, but fabric is very expensive. And so you can get a quilt kit, but it's usually like $200, $150. So it's just a way to spread out the cost of buying the quilt. And what happens is that you get one block every month with the pattern for the pieces that you're going to be piecing. And then when I got into cross stitch, I thought, oh, wouldn't it be great if I could do the same thing with cross stitch? And I know people do that, like Fat Quarter Shop has with the Chockful series, the hands-on design with Priscilla. You get the pattern and the fabric and the floss once a month, and it's just automatically billed to your credit card. And I would like to do something like that. So to supplement, I've decided I'm going to try just get my feet wet. I'm going to start with doing project bags, and I mentioned this on my last video. And so I have some, and I'm going to try to get my Etsy shop up tonight. If not, it'll be Monday. Hopefully it'll be up. I'm hoping I can call it the Calculated Stitcher because that's what my Instagram name and my Flosstube name is. I have some examples here that you can look at. This is one of them, and all of the ones that I made are the same size that I've made mine, and they are 15.5 inches across this way and 14 inches tall, and they are large enough, this is one of mine, to hold your Q-snap. Now, I don't know if this is a 10 by 10 or an 11 by 11. Let me tell you, I measured it, and from the outside of the Q-snap to the outside of the Q-snap is 11. But from the linen you can see here to the linen you can see here, it's 10 by 10. So I'm not sure if this is a 10 by 10 or an 11 by 11. I don't know the proper way to measure a Q-snap. But this is actually my bag that is for me. And that's the back of it. I have one that's just like it, but it's in reverse. When I make them, I can make them both ways. And so it's big enough to hold a big Q-snap. And so I know some people make smaller ones, so I just wanted to know your opinion. Should I offer large ones and small ones? Because these seem awfully big, and I don't know if everybody's going to want them this large, but I don't know. So this is one of mine that's going to be in the shop, and it's birds, and then this part is the feathers. I like to make this part the same as the back. And mine are quilted. I do free motion quilting on them. I don't know if that's something that you think I should keep doing. I do that on mine just because it, to me, makes them a little stiffer with the stabilizer in the back. So that's one of them. What I also do is I make these little things and I just keep them in my bags. I just use a coordinating fabric, and then this is just a batting because I like to just put my threads in here. And I didn't know if that would be something that, do you think people would be interested in if they bought a bag, if they would like one of these? Or if I should do, like, for an extra $1, you can get, I don't know. I just would like your opinion. But I make these for mine. So, and then I can just leave them open and I put them on the arm of my chair, and I just put my stuff right there. So that's one of them. This is the one that's the opposite of the one that's mine that I just showed. So it has the chickens on the inside, and they are vinyl bags. I didn't say that, but you can see they're vinyl bags. And this is the back, which is the chicken wire on there. So that's a chicken one. Then I have this one, and on the back it has just a town scene. So there's that one. Then there's this one, and then let's see the quilting, and then on the back it looks like this. And then I have this one, which is a purple, and then oops, it looks like kind of like old postcards kind of, or advertisements. And then I was practicing my feather quilting. Then I have this one, but I don't think my quilting is nice enough, so I think I'm going to keep this one for myself. It looks, the back has the Parisian looking scenes, and then the front looks like this. And what I mean is, you can tell my quilting just isn't the best on that. So I probably am not going to post that one because I wouldn't want to sell something that didn't look perfect to me. Then this one, I don't know if anybody would be interested in this one, but I had made this one for myself because my daddy had his first combine was an international harvester, which is what IH is. Now these are tractors, but they just reminded me of my father. And so there's the back, just a meander. And then this one I was going to post, but then I cut one of the corners too short. Right there. It's hard to tell, but I cut it too short. But I thought this one was really cute too. And then on the back, it looks like this. So, I probably won't post that one either because, like I said, I snubbed it too close. And I wouldn't want to sell something that wasn't perfect or as close to perfect as it should be. So, that's about all I have to show you. And hopefully, like I said, my Etsy shop will be up either tonight or tomorrow. It may take me an extra day because I'm not good with technology. So right now I'm going to try to put all of these videos together since I get interrupted so many times, and hopefully remember to put everything in at the bottom that I told myself to put in, and maybe have some time for stitching because it's almost 7 o'clock. So, all right, Flosstube. Well, thanks again for watching. And Linda, congratulations. And just email me and I will mail off your pattern or chart. Wrong hobby. Your chart. Thanks again. Be kind to each other. Bye, Flosstube.